Hey guys, welcome to Wednesdays with Whit. This is a late edition because I usually go live every Wednesday from 1 p.m. Central Standard Time till about 1:20, 1:30, just depending on how the conversation goes. But today, if you saw my live earlier, I was out at the beach doing what I call protecting my peace, taking in the ambience and clearing my mind. So thank you for either catching this live or on the replay. As you come in, please say hello. I do have a new feature. Hi, Erica. I'm just gonna lower this a little bit. Okay, that's better. Okay, good. So for those of you who are new to tuning in, I'll just do a brief introduction and then I will go ahead and get started on my topic for tonight, which is the importance of community. So I am Whit Devereaux of whitdevereaux.com. I'm the author of Not By My Own, and I also co-authored 2 other anthologies with some great women from all around the U.S., just to encourage women who either are single mothers or maybe they were teenage moms like I was. And we co-authored a book called There's a Jewel in You Volume 2, which I sold out of all of those books, but I do have a new stock coming in. I just got the notification from UPS, so I'm going to pick that up. If you want to order after this broadcast, you can go on whitdevereaux.com. All of the books are there. I do have my other book here, which is Unraveling the Layers, Memoirs of a Wounded Soul. And that is also an anthology that I co-authored. Let me see, you got that .com in there. I'm working on. Yes, I am Whit Devereaux of whitdevereaux.com. As soon as you come on, just say that so people know to go ahead and write that down. And if you could be so kind to put it in the comments, I would definitely appreciate that as well. Hi Mona, thanks for tuning in. As you come in, please say hello. Let me know what you all are doing. Is this your dinner time or what? Again, with the introduction, Whit Devereaux of whitdevereaux.com. I am an author, a domestic violence survivor, and now an advocate. If you are here in Chicago, please make sure to save the date. Or if you just want to take a trip to Chicago in October 27th, I'll be having my first annual domestic violence survivors celebration. We're just going to be honoring women in particular from different shelters that I've partnered with so that they can get services that they otherwise would not get. Massages, facials, all that good stuff, so that they know that somebody actually cares about them and they want to do something nice for them and not expect anything in return. So I've dedicated that one day to survivors so that they know we care, you're not alone, and that's what the basis of my book is about, letting people know that they're not by themselves. Inside of my community, Not By My Own Community, I have this book coming up as a book chat, August 28th. So there is time for you to join. If you are a survivor of abuse and you are looking for community, then we would love to have you. Information for that is in the visit group on this page with Devereaux Enterprises. And then I'll come in the comments later and post it. So hopefully you have shared this and you are ready. If you watched my last live, then you know that I was talking about the importance of community. And I gave a specific scripture from Genesis 12:1. Don't worry if you didn't read it. I've got my Bible here. On one side is the NIV, and then the other side is the Message. I really like the Message Bible because for people who really need to get that good understanding and breaking it down in everyday terminology, that's what the Message Bible does for us. And so I'll read it briefly and then I'll explain why I've been studying this particular chapter and how it all connects with the importance of community. Okay? All right. So Genesis 12:1, the Lord said to Abram, leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all people on earth will be blessed through you. Amen. Okay, so this particular scripture has spoken volumes to me because, as I shared on my last live very briefly, this has been a time of stretching for me, where God is causing me or calling me basically into the deep to trust Him on some different things that I have going on. And the stretching process is not always comfortable. If you've ever been stretched or called to do something that is scary or unknown, then you might understand, you might possibly relate. And so this particular scripture, because on the last week's live where I was talking about all hell breaking loose, my hell doesn't necessarily come from outsiders, right? The enemy or Satan knows that people that are close to me, those are the ones that he will usually use to cause a little chaos or a lot of rift. And I shared back then that someone called me selfish basically for prioritizing things that I had to do for myself on that particular day and putting their needs not to the wayside, but after my priorities. So I have a priorities list and then I have my to-do list. But these things on the priority list must get done. And then those things on the to-do list, I can get to them as I am able. That's how I prioritize my day. I actually have a planner that I got from my coach, and that's how it is structured. It helps me to get a lot done. So if you don't have a planner like that, you might want to grab one because it helps you to make sure the most important things are being done and then everything else can follow. Well, in the midst of prioritizing yourself or self-care, you might piss a few people off. And I do mean it in that way. There's no better way to say it. You might piss a few people off by putting yourself first, by doing things that are important to you, by chasing your dreams. And in that, you have to get to the place, and I had to get to the place where I was okay with other people being disappointed with me doing what I knew God told me to do. So here's Abram, right? God, Abram was Abraham later. But here is Abram, and God is telling him, like, leave everything that you are familiar with. Leave everything that you are comfortable with. Your father's house, the country, the people, everything. Leave them and go to a place where I will show you. He didn't say, leave Chicago and go to Texas. He didn't tell him exactly how he was going to get there or what to do and all of that. God just said to go to a place that I will show you. And then, because of your obedience, these are the things that are going to happen. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will curse those who curse you. So when God tells you to do something, it's not just because, right? It's always something strategic. There's always a purpose. There's always a reason behind it. And so, although it might have been scary for Abram to pack up, I like in verse 4 where it says, so Abram left, just like the Lord told him. And he was 75. So at that point, when you get a little older, you might be stuck in your ways. You might get so comfortable you don't want to move. I'm in my 30s and I'm not really big on change. However, I do understand the reward in being obedient. And so when I was going through this stretching where God is telling me to go into territory that I'm not familiar with, or to do things like even the event that I'm talking about, or to write that book, because I'm actually working on another book. When God tells me to do things that are not necessarily comfortable, am I going to be like Abram and just go? Or am I going to get in my own way and be a hindrance to the nations and the generations that come after me? And the generation that I'm most concerned with, just as a mom, is my children's generation, right? I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing is in alignment and is going to positively affect their future. So, if you read Not By My Own, you understand a little bit about the story itself. It is a fiction novel. However, it is based on some personal facts of my testimony. Becoming a teenage mom and struggling with depression and having to go against what everybody else said just because I trusted that something better was on the other side, right? And so even I just want to list this caveat here. Even in struggling with depression then and saying that I overcame it, don't be fooled into believing that depression won't sneak up on you, you know. You saw me earlier outside. I was at the beach, at the lakefront, protecting my peace. Why? Because I felt imbalanced, right? I felt disconnected. I'm like, whoa, I have to get back in alignment. There's too much chaos. It's too much turmoil. It's too much. But at the same time, things are good. Like, God is blessing me because I'm obedient. But I can't be fooled into thinking that there won't be warfare. And if you're spiritual, then you might know what warfare is. It's all spiritual. I forget how it goes, but the weapons are not carnal. They're not of this world. Any type of chaos, I really attribute it to being spiritual in nature. God, when God is stretching you, when he's causing you or calling you into the deep, things are not going to just be easy. They're not just going to be smooth sailing. It just doesn't work like that. And so if you are being called to do something that might be uncomfortable for you, I encourage you, just like Abram did, he left. God said, go. I'm going to show you a land, a place. I'm going to bless you. People are going to be blessed through you. Then you go. Sometimes when you're thinking about a village or your support system, because I see a lot of people post on social media, oh, my family and my friends, they don't support me. And it's like, okay, that might be the case, right? Everybody's family and friends aren't supportive of them. I have a mixed bag. I got lots of family and lots of friends that do support me. The thing is, support isn't just in one way, right? Support is not just buying your products. Support might be tuning in live, sharing your post, telling somebody that they know can benefit from your products, your services, your programs. Support can come in many different ways. But even if they're not supporting you at all, like in no way, shape, or form, I am a firm believer and a witness that God will send you support and resources. And a lot of times the resources are in people. When I was going through my abusive relationship, and I write about it in Not By My Own, I talk about going to a domestic violence ministry through my church. Now, everybody doesn't have a domestic violence ministry at their church. But I also went to a therapist. The therapist, the women in the community of the domestic violence ministry, that was my support system. That was my village. They could understand. They could relate. They could help me. They could push me. And then even as I have been on this entrepreneur journey, I have connected with other people that are now a part of my village because I took different programs and I have coaches. We all understand each other. We get close. We support one another. God will give you resources, and sometimes those resources are people. And for me, because I know that I'm not just limited to the church, and some people might not go to the church, but they might watch me, they might tune in to me, I wanted to create a community where people could go. We're online all the time. If you're not on there every day, you might be on there at least once a week, where you can check in online to this virtual community that I created for survivors so that they can know that they were, one, not alone, two, that resources and support are available. There are other people that are going through what you've been through. Maybe they went through it and they can teach you something. We're all in this community supporting one another along the healing path, because healing is like a continuous thing. You know, when I went through the abusive relationships, it wasn't like once I got out, that was just it. Like, there was a lot of work that had to be done that I still do to make sure that I am thinking from a healthy mindset, that I am not bringing in past baggage into new relationships, even with friendships. It doesn't have to be an intimate partner. But when you have been abused, a lot of times it's hard for you to trust people. It's hard for you to forgive. Sometimes you are a little skeptical of people's intentions. And so that makes it hard for you to have a relationship. But when you're in a community and you're in a group of people who get it, it just makes it that much easier. And so the importance of community. Abram, he went with Lot, he went with his wife, and then they left, right? That was his community. However, God took him to a place, and because he was obedient, what came out of that? The blessings. Don't worry about people who call you selfish. Don't worry about people who try to curse your great name, okay? Because he will curse those who curse you. I believe, even though this is way back in Genesis, that this is even relevant in today's times, here in 2018. When God is calling you into the deep, he's calling you to do something great. Go ahead and trust him. I took a leap last month, left my corporate 8 to 5 job and just started working for myself. And it has been business nonstop. And I'm just grateful for the opportunities that God continues to give me. And I am assured because this is the vision he showed me and I trust in him. So if you're lacking community, whether it's because you have been abused or you just want to be around people who understand what it is to try to rebuild your life after something traumatic, then I invite you to join the Not By My Own community. Again, we'll be reading this book, Not By My Own, in August, actually August 28th. So you have time to grab the book and then join us inside of the group. I will post the link below. It is on whitdevereaux.com, and you can click on Not By My Own community, sign up, and then you'll be added to a membership portal where we have content on how to properly love yourself through self-care, how to overcome unforgiveness, whether you need to forgive yourself or someone else. And then we also have monthly book chats and master classes and things that we do that connect us as a community and help us to move forward in healing and purpose together, right? I always say on my business page and real life, when you see me on my personal page, there is life after abuse, right? And a lot of times people are like, this thing will scar you for life. Now, I do know if you do not properly take care of yourself, utilize the resources that are available, either with Not By My Own community, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, support groups through your church, therapy. If you don't utilize those things, then yes, it can definitely scar you forever. Being a victim of abuse, I always felt like, why me? What am I doing wrong? How do I keep attracting the same person? But I remember going to, I think it was actually a Bible study. And the pastor was just basically saying, like, until that part of you is healed, you will continue to attract the same type of person. And I am a witness. The stuff just kept happening. I kept meeting the same type of person, the same type of spirit was in that person. The spirit of power, the spirit of control, the spirit of manipulation. And something within me that wasn't healed was attracted to that spirit within them. And that's how I kept getting into toxic relationship after toxic relationship. But it wasn't until I actually got therapy and I actually became honest with myself and stopped trying to lie and hide things from my family and my friends. It wasn't until then that I really started to move forward in being healed. And like I said, the healing is a daily work. Like, yes, I am 1,000 times removed from what I was in. You'll have to read the book to understand. But there are times when I have to check myself to make sure, like, okay, Whit, are you trying to make someone else pay for something that somebody else did? And I have accountability partners. That's important too. Accountability partner is basically someone who you trust to tell you the truth at all times. The truth about your actions, the truth about the situation. They're not going to take your side just because they are your friend or your confidant. There's someone who is going to be like, no, Whit, that was wrong. Or no, Whit, that was right. Exit stage left. Like, accountability partners are another part of community that I had and that I invite you to have, and Not By My Own community, where we're holding each other accountable to live in a higher standard of life, not settling for just any type of behavior. Yes, Erica, accountability is everything. I mean, even after our group experience with 1K one day, I have so many of us like in a group me where we are encouraging each other on a daily basis in life, in business, just about everyday struggles. We keep each other intact and we hold each other accountable. We have dates set on the calendar. So when it comes up, we're like, okay, you said on October 27th that you were going to have a domestic violence celebration. Where is it? Like, we're holding each other accountable. And that's the importance of community. There's accountability, and there is someone in there who can relate, who understands, but who wants better for you, right? And so grab your book, whitdevereaux.com. Join me in Not By My Own community. August 28th, we will be reading the book together. And then that way we can digest it. Because a major theme of Not By My Own is talking about forgiveness, which I know, being a survivor, being an advocate, once being a victim and now being a victor, I know that forgiveness was a major roadblock for me. Let me see here. Erica says exactly. It's so much more critical than we realize. Yeah, accountability is like everything. Because if it was left to me, I would have all these great ideas and maybe no execution. So community is so important. And within the Not By My Own community, or any community that you join for that matter. Say you want to have a therapist. That's part of your village of support. Say you want to have the domestic violence ministry at the church like I did. Whoever it is, just make sure that you are around like-minded people who are not going to hinder you, who are going to push you, who want the best for you, who are not trying to be a hindrance. They want what's best for you. And if God tells you to go for it, like he did Abram, like he did me as I jumped out the boat in June, go for it. I am a living witness that God, even as it's a little uncomfortable, because as you're growing, you can't always expect everybody else to grow outside of you. Like they might not see the vision, but the people in your community who are like-minded, they can see the vision and they're excited because you're excited. And they know that whatever God put in you is going to come to fruition because you all have faith. And hopefully you can see my shirt. I got a new t-shirt line. It's still the faith until I make it, but you know, it's tank top season. Hopefully you can see it. We got some pink ones in. I'm going to post some more. I've got the white lettering now. It's on my website too, whitdevereaux.com, and you just click on apparel and it'll take you there. So that is it. Genesis 12, actually you can go and read 12 through 9 because it's just that good. So Genesis 12, 1 through 9, or you can just read Genesis 12 and 1. But it's basically this. Sometimes you will be called out of your comfort zone. Your village will not be just limited to the people that you grew up with, that you knew all of these years. God is going to expand that. And so even if it's scary, even if it's uncomfortable, you see how Abram just left, and then there was a promise that was fulfilled, not only in his life, but in the generations after. I believe that God can do that for you. I believe that he's doing that for me and for my children. And so just go. Just go. And if you need more accountability, if you need community, join us, whitdevereaux.com. I am going to post the link in the comments. And then on this page, if somebody invited you, make sure to like, follow, turn on your notifications, preferably to see first. And that way you won't miss anything going forward. But at the top is a little button that says visit group. It'll take you to Not By My Own community, formerly known as Not By My Own Association. And there you will be able to get the information about the group, sign up, and then join us in time for the book chat. So thank you all for tuning live. Thank you all on the replay. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, make sure to comment. I'll jump in the comments, answer any questions that you have, and I will see you next week for Wednesdays with Whit. It should be 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, but if it changes, I will let you know in advance. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.